Tonight, pressure on the coalition to deliver on the election promises made for Grey, and university students looking to end the stigma of mental health in Port Lincoln.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. Rowan Ramsey has his eyes set on delivering election commitments made for Grey. Many centre around infrastructure, but some say the government needs to re-evaluate. Garth Burley has more.
Throughout the election campaign, there were many promises from both Labor and Liberal. But now the race to government has been run and won. Ultimately, half those commitments will fall by the wayside. For the coalition, delivering an early budget meant funding was already available for remote mental health programs, road upgrades, and nearly $12 million for the Whyalla Hospital. Its win at the polls means Grey can now also expect $10 million to repair Outback South Australia's 100-year-old dog fence, as well as $64 million to begin duplication of the Augusta Highway.
Once we see how far that's going, what the design work looks like, well then we can start talking about how we get the rest of it done.
Labor's commitment to $40 million towards schools in Grey, plus $10 million to upgrade Whyalla's TAFE campus, are now both up in the air. The Australian Workers' Union calling on the government to invest more in these sectors.
Investment in education, skills and training is number one.
The government says it's focused on starting its election promises as soon as possible.
A new speed limit for the main road in Cummins is in the pipeline, with the Lower Eyre Peninsula Council considering reducing the speed limit from 50 kilometres to 40. The council proposing the idea last Friday in their monthly meeting, in preparation for next week's closure of the railway. The limit would be introduced on Bruce Terrace in an effort to improve safety on our roads. SA Health is encouraging local hairdressers to speak up when identifying signs of elder abuse. Community salon members are backing the campaign, saying it's an important and unique role.
More than just cutting hair. Hairdressers are a profession who elderly people regularly visit, putting them in prime position to notice when things may be out of the ordinary.
They're ideally placed to be able to listen and to be able to pick up when things don't look quite right.
The campaign runs until June. Whyalla hairdressers say they're happy to play a role in protecting them.
I think we're probably some of the prime people in communities to be in this position to help with this. Yeah.
SA Health says hairdressers are one of just few people elderly people feel comfortable speaking to, with around 1 in 20 older Australians experiencing some form of abuse.
To the older person, or to give them some ideas about where else they can get some help.
The Whyalla community is rallying behind this campaign, and SA Health says those seeking more information should contact the Elder Abuse Prevention Hotline.
It's something we could talk about a bit more freely now if this is something that's not many people would know about.
Shari Ham, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A new initiative in Port Lincoln is aiming to kickstart the conversation on men's mental health. The project teaming up with local football clubs to reduce the stigma around mental well-being.
Kicking goals for mental health. Therapy students from UniSA are getting men talking about their mental well-being.
The main purpose of this project is really to start increasing the talk around men and their well-being, and increasing that awareness and reducing that stigma that is associated with mental health.
The project running over 9 weeks, with the students teaming up with football clubs to try and promote early intervention.
Football clubs are a big part of each community. It's quite often the heart of towns, and I think we felt we could do a lot with this space.
It's a real opportunity to, in a social setting, to actually discuss with your mates anything you have, and why not do it?
They're conducting a community-wide survey using local health services and Facebook, their findings helping to paint a picture of the region's mental health.
Really trying to find out the information about what people think around their community about wellbeing and what services are available, what they think they have access to, and just really finding out their opinion on their mental wellbeing.
And they're warning silence can have devastating impacts, encouraging everyone to start the conversation.
I just encourage all men to actually, open up, talk to your mates about things, and, just ask them whether they're okay sometimes too.
If you or someone you know needs help, call Lifeline on 13 11 14. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Good work there. Changes to how the Wallaroo dump charges users is set to lighten the impact on residents' wallets. Locals will now be charged on weight instead of being charged by volume. The previous system had many residents travelling as far as Port Pirie dump, which was considered a cheaper option.
They wanted to be charged by weight, so we will be charging by weight rather than by volume. And these reforms have come around from listening to what the ratepayers wanted.
Council says the changes won't affect local rates. Still to come tonight, Wireless Salvo's gearing up for this year's Red Shield appeal, and Port Lincoln students return from the trip of a lifetime. Welcome back. The Salvation Army's annual Red Shield appeal is fast approaching. Wireless local branch will once again be door knocking, with local officers encouraging the community to lend a hand.
Australia's biggest door knock begins this Saturday, and the Salvation Army is calling on Whyalla locals for support.
Financial counselling, whether it's help with some food. Certainly our regional areas are some of our busiest areas for assistance.
This year's theme is Hardships Does Not Discriminate, with Whyalla Salvos needing to raise crucial funds to keep their centre operating.
They're volunteers as the army behind the army, because that's what keeps us going. And we really need to raise the funds for the community of Whyalla.
And the Red Shield appeal can help them because we can have services on the ground.
The Salvos officers will be running a store in the Westland Shopping Centre starting next week.
Everyone wants to come and say hello and have a chat. We'll be very happy to see you.
And the community is encouraged to get involved and donate when there's a knock on their door. Shari Ham, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Whyalla Library needs help with its collection of foreign language books. It currently has a number of books in stock that are written in different languages. Arabic, Chinese, German and Spanish works are among those in the system. Anyone fluent in a second language is being asked to help out. To get involved, contact the library on 86457981. Port Augusta residents are being urged to get their hearing checked as part of a free test offered this week. The mobile hearing service will be parked at the Wharflands Esplanade on Thursday, starting at 9 a.m. Those involved are encouraging locals to take the test, with hearing loss affecting 1 in 6 Australians. The Port Lincoln Maroto delegation has arrived back in town after their 18-day journey to Japan. The exchange between the two cities has been an annual tradition for over 28 years.
For these students, it was a trip of a lifetime, experiencing the culture and history of Japan firsthand.
It was a good, life-changing experience. Yeah, would recommend it to anyone.
10 students and 5 adults from 3 local high schools jetted off to Maroto last month, the group also travelling to Tokyo, Kyoto and Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, because that place was it was very significant to a lot of people, and it was an experience.
The delegation learning Japanese culture by visiting a Buddhist temple and learning to play the country's national instrument, the koto. Students stayed with host families and attended the local high school.
Giving them the opportunity to live in a Japanese home for 10 days, the emotions that they come away with, the experience, it's truly special to be a small part of.
Organisers are looking to next year, holding an information session this Thursday. For more information, visit the Port Lincoln Maroto Exchange website. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Cornish culture was once again on show at the biannual Lowinder Festival on the York Peninsula. The festival has been dubbed a huge success by event organisers.
A cavalcade of cars, a mountain of pasties and an excited crowd. The 2019 Kernowek Lowinder Festival on the York Peninsula once again proving itself to be a unique cultural experience.
It was originally an economic driver, but now I think whilst that's really important, it's also recognised as a real celebration of our culture.
Moonta, also known as the Little Cornwall of Australia, is the beating heart of the festival, settled by Cornish miners in the 1860s. In honour of its founders, many continue the popular tradition of dressing up in colonial costume.
Well, this region actually had the highest population outside of metropolitan Adelaide in the late 1800s because of our mining heritage. So we're all dressed to celebrate our forebears.
It's hard to find anyone more passionate about Cornwall than Lillian James, who dedicates her life keeping the Cornish language alive.
This is a worldwide medal. It's given to someone outside of Cornwall for the work that they have done for Cornwall.
With this year's festivities over, organisers are already setting their sights on 2021. Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll take a look at the region's netball and soccer results, and we'll have the weather details with Louise. Welcome back. A gospel choir featuring people from all over the world is finalising preparations ahead of a performance in Quorn. The musical group donating money raised from the event back into the local community,
bringing an African taste to the Flinders Ranges.
It just makes you want to go woohoo, you know. It is special.
It's a trip which is bringing 55 people singing gospel and soul from Adelaide to Alice Springs.
Led by musical director Tony Backhouse, the Singing to the Heart tour touching down in Quorn, with artists warming the vocal cords ahead of a performance tomorrow night. And while the music is laced with international flavour, so too are the people involved.
We've got a couple of Americans, we've got a couple from Europe, we've got the rest in Australians.
Singing their way through the far north, shows will also be held in Maree, Coober Pedy as well as Alice Springs. Proceeds will be donated to the local community.
Here in Quorn it goes to the men's shed, in Maree it goes to the Flying Doctor Service.
The performance begins tomorrow night at 7:30 at Emily's Bistro. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Golf News.
It was another big weekend of sport across the region. In soccer, Port Perry's Northern Demons were left disappointed after drawing with the Adelaide Cobras. Dominic Beaton has details.
A disappointing draw for the Northern Demons against the Adelaide Cobras this weekend. A strong performance by the Demons had them 2-0 with 20 minutes left to play. Jimmy Akello scored a double for the Demons, including the stunner from outside the 18-yard box. Unfortunately, 2 quick replies in the dying minute of the game evened it up. In Port Lincoln, Seacole Masters outclassed the City Raiders 7-6 in a 13-goal thriller, while South Coast and the Lincoln Knights drew 1-1. And in Whyalla, Westlands defeated a winless Lions 3-1, while Wanderers remain undefeated this season, though they were made to work for their point against a rejuvenated Croatia. Moving over to Port Pirie Netball, and Solomon Town have defeated Port 53-45. Solly's own Madison Pryor starred, winning Player of the Week, while the Blue Wrens easily defeated St Mark's Celtic 65-30. Close competition in round 4 of Port Augusta's netball. St Joseph's again proving why they're a force to be reckoned with, edging the Magpies by 7 goals. It was an even match between Railways and the Vikings, however the Railways came through victorious with a nail-biting 4-goal win. In Whyalla, Warriors outclassed Rapina 74-20. Kiwis had a powerful win over the Ravens. True Blue proved they're still a force with a close and narrow win over YCW 47-45. In Port Lincoln, Imperial defeated South 36-30. Wanilla Rangers were no match for Boston. And Wayback again proved that they're a team to beat this season with a 21-point thumping of St Mary's. And last but not least, in Broken Hill, it was fire versus fire. West Flames Red having a scorcher against West Flames Black, winning 37-15. And that's the sports results from across the regions. We'll see you again next week.
And now time to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Louise.
Good evening. It was a warm day today with temperatures in the mid-20s. Port Augusta and Broken Hill were the warmest, reaching a top of 26 degrees. Whyalla and Port Pirie reaching 24, with Port Lincoln partly cloudy and 21. It was also mostly sunny and 21 in Adelaide. Looking at the satellite now, and high cloud is moving over the western regions ahead of a cold front. There's low cloud over the south, causing some isolated showers. Skies are mostly clear in the north thanks to a ridge of high pressure. Looking at the waters for tomorrow now, and there'll be light southerly winds turning southwest, reaching 10 knots, with seas at around a metre. The sun will rise at 7:08 tomorrow morning, with sunset at 5:23. Similar conditions tomorrow as today, partly cloudy in most areas with temperatures generally in the low to mid-20s. Port Augusta will remain warm, set for a top of 25 degrees. Whyalla partly cloudy and 21. Cooler in Port Lincoln and Coffin Bay though, with both places down to 19. Woodnut will reach 22, Corn 25, Broken Hill cloudy and 25, Port Pirie 24, Clare 22, Cleve cloudy and 20, Kadina 21, and for Adelaide it should be fine and sunny and 22 degrees. Looking ahead to the next 4 days now, cloudy and cool in Port Lincoln Wednesday and Thursday before showers on Friday and Saturday. Cleve will reach 26 on Thursday, 23 and cloudy Friday before showers at 19 degrees on Saturday. Woodnut will be warm and partly cloudy through to Friday before rain and down to 19 degrees on Saturday. Whyalla keeping in the mid-20s with a bit of cloud through to Friday before showers and a top of 21 on Saturday. It's heating up in Port Augusta, reaching a summery 28 degrees by Thursday, 27 on Friday, before cooling right down by Saturday. And Kadina will be sunny and dry through until Friday before showers and a top of 19 on Saturday. Some partial cloud in Port Pirie until Saturday, where there'll be showers and 21 degrees. It's looking to be a similar story in Clare, 17 and showers on Saturday. And Broken Hill will remain warm and dry, 26 Thursday, 25 Friday and 24 on Saturday. So enjoy the warm weather while you can, as there is rain on the way. But for now, John, it's back to you.
That's a forecast our farmers are going to love. Thanks, Louise. And that's your local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks so much for your company. I'll have some updates later in the evening, but until then, enjoy your evening's viewing here on 7. From the team, it's good night.